Very good morning to all. Hope you all are fine. Dear students, in our last class, lesson 5 human body, what all are the things we learned, children? We learned about the skeletal system and parts of skeletal system, right? Then, can I ask a question? Without bones, what we will do, children? If there is no bones in our body, what will happen? We know that bones are very important in our body. It gives structure to our body, and without bones we cannot do other activities like running, then walking, we cannot do the exercise, right? So in our body total 206 bones are there. That bones are very important and they protect our internal organ. Can you say any example which internal organ we discussed, and that protection of internal organ also we discussed in our last class? Yes, of course, that is brain. Brains are protected by skull, a helmet like structure, right? Dear children, just look on the screen. What do you observe? You can see our skeleton system, right? If you look closely, the entire thing is not a single structure. Well, it is made up of a number of different bones. You can see skull, limbs, girdles and vertebrae. Different types of bones joined together form our skeletal system. Now the question arises, why do we have so many different types of bones in our body, children? These all answers we will get from this chapter. Okay, so listen carefully. So dear children, our parts of skeletal systems are skull, backbone, then rib cage, then limbs and girdles, right? These are our parts of skeletal system. Skull and backbone we discussed, right? Our brains are protected by skull, a helmet like structure, right? And backbone or spines are attached to the skull, is it, children? And do you know, children, that is our heart, one internal organ, heart and lungs. These are protected by rib cage. These are protected by rib cage. And we have limbs. Limbs means our hands and legs together we called limbs. Okay, these two things I am going to explain today. Dear children, you just put your hand on your chest and breathe. What you observe? And if it is in a small baby also, you can see that some cage like bones, you can see it from their chest, right? That's a rib cage. Okay, it is a type of curved bones, okay? And it's a cage like structure. Ribs are attached to vertebral column in back and sternum or breastbone in front. These ribs are attached to sternum or breastbone in front and vertebral column in back. Clear, all of you? And heart and lungs are protected by skull? No, heart and lungs are protected by rib cage, that cage like structure. Okay, these curved bones protected heart and lung, but our brain is protected by skull. Okay, so dear children, these all about rib cage. Okay, it is a cage like structure and it has curved bones. Total bones of ribs are 12 pair, and it is attached to vertebral column in back and sternum or breastbone in front, and heart and lungs are protected by rib cage. Clear, all of you? Now I am going to teach you about limbs. What is limbs, children? Our hand and leg we call together, that is limbs. Okay, our hand and legs. Dear children, we know that arm and legs we together called limbs. Arm and legs together we called limbs, right? And we have upper limb and lower limb. Okay, and upper limb consists of arm and hand. Upper limb consists of arm and hand, right? And this arm is made up of 3 type of bones. Okay, that is first one, upper arm is made up of Humerus. Humerus. It is the longest bone in the upper arm. Okay. So upper arm is made up of humerus. It is the longest bone in our arm. And this lower arm is made up of radius and ulna. Two type of bone. Radius and ulna. And our hand consists of 27 bones. How many bones? 27 bones consist in our hand. That's why we can write, we can do some other craft activities. Okay. So these all about our upper limb. So I'm going to revise it again. So make it clear, all of you. Our upper limb has two parts. What are they? Arm and hand. Arm has again two parts. That is upper arm and lower arm. Upper arm and lower arm. And humerus is the longest bone in the arm. Okay. Then humerus is present in upper arm. Right, children? And radius and ulna is present in lower arm. Clear, all of you? And we have 27 bones in our hand. Okay. Then next is we are going to learn about lower limb. That is about our leg. Okay. So here our hand is finished. About this we finished. Next I am going to teach you about our lower limb. Okay. This lower limb is made up of our leg and foot. Leg and foot. Okay. Leg has upper leg and lower leg. Right. And it is made up of a longest bone in the body. That is thigh bone or femur. Okay. This upper leg is made up of longest bone in our body. What it is? Thigh bone or femur. And lower leg is made up of tibia and fibula. Okay. I already told this lower arm is made up of radius and ulna. Radius and ulna, two type of bones, right? But lower leg is made up of tibia and fibula. More about these bones you will learn in your higher classes. Okay, so don't scared about the names. Clear, all of you? Now you have to memorize only about humerus and femur. So femur is the longest bone in our body. Clear? But humerus is the longest bone in arm. Clear? That is the main difference. Then our foot is made up of 26 bones. 26 bones. But our hand is made up of 27 bones. Okay. So clear, all of you? So now you just memorize some difference. That is easy to learn. Okay. That is our brain is protected by skull. But our heart and lungs are protected by rib cages. Okay, we have total how many rib cage? We have 12 pairs of rib cage. Right, children? 12 pairs of ribs we have. Okay, and it is heart and lungs are protected by our rib cage. Clear? And we have upper limb and lower limb. Okay, longest bone in our body is femur. That is present in our upper leg. Okay, that is longest bone in our body. But longest bone in our hand, it is longest bone in our arm, it is humerus. Okay, and we have 27 bones in our hand, but 26 bones in our feet. These all main difference you have to memorize. Okay, so we know that without bone we cannot stand. Okay, it is like a balloon without a gas. We don't have any structure. So skeletal system is very important. In our next class we will learn. In our next class I will teach you about the girdles. Okay, these all are interconnected. Okay, so we can meet in our next class. Thank you.